Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Back there is Tucker.
Yep, that's me.
And we are in some old school SUV luxury in a brand new vehicle. We are in the 2023 Nissan Armada Platinum Edition. And in this video, we're going to see how this big old school SUV fits our family of three. Stay tuned. All right, Holly, we have not had this one long. We've got a limited amount of time with it, but it's made quite an impression on me. I drove it back from Dallas. I had fun with it. It was a blast for me. But what are your initial thoughts?
It's big. She's a big girl.
She is. And
she's got some hips.
She does. Lots of curves, lots of lines on this one. Pretty interesting combination of being
birthing hips.
Big on the outside, but at 5 foot, what is your driving position? How's that over there?
I'm still adjusting it, but it's good. I mean, it does feel like I'm driving a beast.
Yeah.
If you want a big car, this is a big car.
Not to spoil my solo review, which you can go watch, but sitting in this, I definitely feel like I'm up. Like the windows are down low, the hood's down low, I'm up high. Yeah. Like you feel like you're on top of things.
Well, when I got in at your seating position, I felt like it was in a hole.
Yeah, well, yeah, 5 foot. So.
I'm 5 foot.
But
is an Armada a ship?
Yeah, I have been calling this a boat, but an Armada is a collection of warships. So
there you go.
Yeah, very fitting name, right?
Yes.
This is Nissan's warship.
Yes.
For their fleet. But why don't we, as per usual, start on the outside, work our way in. Big birthing hips, big overall design. Is it a good design?
I like the design on the outside. One thing that sticks out to me in particular from first glance is the grille is also big.
Yes.
So
and chrome.
Yeah, and chrome, or the chrome around the side. But in particular, you know how the grille pieces, you know, the decorative design that they have on the grille, it's usually like very small, and there's a bunch of them. This is like big ones.
Big and chunky.
Big and chunky. Which is interesting. It's like life-size version, not a small snack version of the grille.
And then the overall design, Nissan calls that their V-Motion grille.
V-Motion grille. I like it.
Get that marketing in there where we can.
I like the chrome accents on the front. It's very nice, very classy.
What about the massive 22-inch wheels on this?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a big vehicle. It's got to have big wheels.
Yes, it does. Did you ever imagine, as we grew up through the days of singing about 20-inch blades on the Impala, that you would be driving a normal family vehicle with 22s on it, and it would just be, oh, you know, whatevs.
Whatevs. This may not surprise you. I did not think that deep about
what 20-inch blades on the Impala.
I mean, I knew it had something to do with the car.
Yeah. All right.
So let's talk about the tires.
Moving inside.
The wheels.
What are your thoughts in here?
There's some things I like, and there are some things I think are interesting.
We'll start with interesting, end on a positive. What are the interestings?
Well, the curvature of the passenger side, I can't decide if I like it or if it looks like a bathroom scene.
Did not see that one coming. Okay. But a luxury bathroom scene.
A luxury bathroom scene.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. But I do like this wood accents. That's, of course, nice. The other thing that's interesting is the tufted sides, which kind of just looks like they messed up.
Really? Okay.
You like it?
I don't know that I like it. I know what they're going for, and it's definitely giving me, care to guess?
Grandma vibes?
Oh, I was gonna say like cigar room vibes.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay,
the
yes,
entire thing.
yes.
Like I could put on my smoker's jacket, which I don't. Have my cigar, and
Which you don't.
yeah, and just being here with the boys talking about football, which I don't.
With your bathroom sink.
Baseball's my
No,
thing.
yeah, okay, I can see that because it kind of looks like a. I get okay.
I mean,
I'm with you on that.
these
I
chairs
can buy into
look
that.
like overstuffed.
Oh yeah,
Home furnishing.
like lazy boys.
Yes,
They
yes.
feel nice,
Yeah,
like
they're
lazy boys
comfortable.
too. They're a little on the firm side, but they're comfortable.
That's because they are stuffed so much. They are very big, but they're quilted, heated and ventilated.
And it works.
You want to know my favorite feature about heating and ventilation?
It doesn't turn off.
Yes. So
Excellent.
whoever delivered this one to us had the ventilation on. I turned the vehicle on, and wouldn't you know it, seats
Still on.
were still ventilated. That's a win in my book, Nissan.
In your book. Well, and I like the leather,
The
all the leather
stitching,
with
yeah.
the stitching, and then the two tones.
Mhm,
It's nice. It's gray and chocolate.
Yeah.
I don't know if they call it chocolate, but it's like darker than. And then this is even a different shade than
Just a little.
just a little bit.
But
Just a little bit. I do like that this is not the shiny black stuff.
yeah, that piano black plastic.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But the storage up
Okay,
here, the nooks and crannies are also interesting.
Do tell.
Well, there's not a lot.
Okay, well, we've got
two cup holders right here.
underneath a little hidden
a
wooden
little
panel.
hidden, which I do like the hidden panel. But then you have your cell phone
Behind the hidden wooden
behind
panel.
a hidden panel.
Qi wireless charging back there, which seems to be working quite well. We've actually got both our phones stacked in there, so it can fit two phones, one of them being a 14 Pro Max. So
Yeah, well, that's good. But then it's hidden. I don't know.
yeah,
That's
out
probably,
of sight,
that's
out of
probably
mind.
for the best.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't like it. I
got
would
it.
definitely leave my cell phone in there. Forget
We've got a very wide, but not very tall or deep glove box over here that is slightly damped. We've got
This is a family channel.
door pocket storage.
Yeah. And another cup holder down there.
Yeah.
Which I probably see you want to put. And this is really nice and big.
Yep. And we've got some velvet lined in here so it doesn't make a lot of noise with a
Rattle.
removable tray. Would you like to know the trick feature that Nissan has baked into said center console?
I love a good trick feature.
All right, so I have my USB-C charging cable here, which we have some USB-C ports. But say Tucker's in the back seat and he wants access to that USB-C cable. I'm gonna ask you to avert your eyes from the road momentarily so that you can see the trickiest of all features here with the center console. It opens to the front so that
Cool.
the people in the back can also access what is here in the center console.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little
That could
touch.
be good or bad.
Yeah. We don't want you climbing in there.
Yeah.
But it does mean the handle to open this from the front is really down low because of the hinge mechanism.
Okay.
So interesting nonetheless.
Interesting nonetheless.
Speaking of storage though, Tucker has his own center console back there, which I talk about as I install his car seat not only in the second row, but in the third row. And because he all asked for it, I also show what it's like in the rearward facing position for a passenger up here in the front seat. All right, gearheads, we've got a lot of stuff going on that I want to talk about while I'm here in the second row of the Nissan Armada. First and foremost, this being a platinum trim, we get this center console. So lots of additional storage here, including two cup holders up front and a full center console storage bin right here that I do believe is a little bit roomier than the one up front. In it, we've got our wireless headphones for the entertainment system, as well as our remote that controls both screens. It is a very slim, slender remote that uses the watch style battery if you need to replace it. So that should be rather conveniently cheap to purchase when you need more. I'll go ahead, since I've got the center console open, and tell you that the lower latch points for child seats are plastic covered and removable. So that's a good place to store those to make sure that you don't lose them. We'll come back to that here in just a second because we do have dual screens on the backs of the headrests, and you can see they do angle downward for an anti-glare view. We do have heated outboard seats here in the second row as well as a third zone to the climate control with ceiling mounted vents. You know that is a big favorite of ours here in hot East Texas, because when Tucker was in his rearward facing child seat, we just had center console mounted vents that were basically blocked by the child seat itself. So this provides air both to a forward and rear facing car seat. Huge win for us in the grand scheme of things as far as child friendliness. Now, rear seats here. I've had a lot of you comment and ask, what does the front seat space look like when you have a rear-facing car seat? So I'm actually going to show you both it with Tucker's Graco Extend-to-Fit car seat that he has had since he was rearward facing. Bringing his car seat in, we'll go ahead and start off in the rearward facing mode. I will put it in its lowest seating position here for rearward facing, and you can see where we have been sitting here in the passenger seat. You are going to need to move the seat forward just a smidge. So with that seat moved forward just a little bit, you can see one downside to this whole setup with the screens in the back of the headrests is the plastic on this particular car seat model. The hard plastic is going to be rubbing on the screen. So you may want to give yourself even more room than just your standard little bit of clearance. I know when Tucker was riding rearward facing in this car seat, we didn't have that problem. No screens in the back of our 2014. So there we have the maximum clearance I would want and feel comfortable with this latched into place. So let's show you what that front seat space looks like for me at 5'10". Climbing in to the passenger seat, you can see my knees pretty close to the dash, but I've got plenty of foot room. It's fairly comfortable, and they really aren't in rear-facing car seats all that long in the grand scheme of things, sadly, from this father. All right, now turning the car seat around, we'll go ahead and put it back in its forward-facing spot here, and we'll put the top tether down through behind the headrest here and put the car seat into place. Now, these are reclining second row seats, so you'll want to get that perfect incline for the backrest to match the incline of the child seat here. I already talked about, we had those removable plastic covers, making the lower latch points really easy to get to. With the side steps on our Platinum model, it is really easy to get in here and tighten this down. There's plenty of room for me, especially with that seat moved up for the rearward facing model, but very easy to tighten this down and get it into place. Unfortunately, because of the mechanism that I'll show you here in a minute to get into the third row, these seats don't slide. So getting to that top tether, well, that requires some acrobatics. Getting around to the back, whether that's folding the rear seat down or just reaching around from standing here and getting to the back. But it absolutely can be done. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what it looks like from up front here. So there is a plastic cover over the top of it. You flip that down and make sure we've got it long enough to get it into place and snug that thing down. Now, unfortunately, the backs of these seats, much like all of the seats, are super well, highly padded, and I'm crushing the back of the leather here. So long term, you are gonna have some wear on the back of this seat from the top tether. Just something to note. So Nissan did think about third row car seat installation in this one. And so now that I've got Tucker's car seat out of here, I can show you a trick feature to get into the second row. We've got the latch here over the shoulder. You pull on it, it folds the seat forward once and tips and tumbles forward so you can climb back into the back. Before I get Tucker's child safety seat, I do want to call out that if you look down here, there are no lower latches, but here on the 60-40 split bench second row, there is actually a top tether here only on the passenger side, not over on the driver's side. And while I'm back here, I'll go ahead and call out that these are power recline third row seats. So as you get the backrest in the right position to match the car seat, you can do that here from the side. Also, we've got very large headrests here that you can either go up and over with, or you can go through here with that top tether, because right here the tops of the seat back is really firm. Plus it gives you the extra support for the top of the car seat back here. But that's enough talking about it. Let's go get Tucker's car seat for back here. And unfortunately, with no lower latches anywhere in this third row seat, we're actually going to put it in using the seatbelt method. All right, nice large opening to get the car seat in, which is good for car seats and people alike. And then, whew, can climb back here. We can go ahead and put our top tether through underneath the headrest, because again, I want to make sure we have that extra support of the headrest up there. But this is going to have to go in using the seat belt as your lower latch points. So pulling my hands through the seat back and getting this into the proper position. Make sure that ratchets it down. Makes it pretty easy back here to tighten this down into place. And like I said, you do have that power recline, so you can get the perfect seat back angle with the seat back power recline right there. And now let's head around to the back and show you how easy it is to put that top tether in for the third row. All right, coming up to the back of the vehicle, we do have a power opening rear hatch under the MA of Armada. And once it finally comes up into place, we get back here to the cargo compartment. You can see that top tether is right there. It is really easy to snug up and get into place against this very large headrest here. And you can see I've got that added support of the headrest in place. If you want to go up and over it, you are gonna squish that headrest quite a bit, possibly damaging the leather there on top. But now let's take this car seat out and talk about rear storage back here in the back of the Armada. All right, so now that we have Tucker's car seat out, I can show you we do just have that one top tether here on the 60/40 split bench rear seat. But with these rear seats up and the total seating capacity to 7, you have a rear cargo capacity of 16.5 cubic feet, which is less than the segment leader Chevy Tahoe, and it's 25, I believe. We do have this rear carpeted floor mat that covers the hidden storage section underneath here, so you can put a little bit extra stuff down here, not too much. But then underneath here, you have all your tools for your fixing a flat. So your tire iron and your jack all back here under this false load floor that is kind of a double false load floor. If you look at it, we do have power recline rear seats. You just push and hold that button right there, and the seats move into place, slowly folding down, giving you a maximum of 49.9 cubic feet behind the second row of seats here, which is a fairly nice number when you consider just how roomy those front two rows are. And then I've already got the second row in its two different configurations for maximum cargo back there. I've got the driver's side flipped and folded forward, which is not the best if you want to carry a lot of cargo, but maybe you've got some taller items you want to put back there. And then you can see just how flat the load floor is here if you just fold that second row seat back down, and that gives you a total capacity of 95.4 cubic feet. So very massive cargo volume here in this big 3-row SUV. There we have Tucker's child seat installation, center console storage, some rear amenities I like the ceiling mounted AC vents, the rear screens back there, and all the rear cargo back in the back with a little hidden storage under the floor. So as we are approaching the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler, Texas, we can kind of transition into how it rides, how it drives, and your impressions with it. We are turning on to the brick streets now, where Tucker has got his patented wobbly head test. Tucker, how is it back there?
You should see it and when you edit it.
So I have to wait until I edit it, but you can see just how wobbly his head is back there. What about you, Holly? How is the ride for you on these 22-inch wheels?
It's a lot smoother than I was expecting it to be.
It's a boat.
It's a boat.
We're just sailing around.
Across. Pretty smooth, not hardly.
Yes, I will say, again, from my 2-hour trip back from Dallas and this last night, that comes with some consequences. It is smoother on these roads, but if you are driving at highway speeds, it can be a little floaty there, and not the best of ways. It is just a big floaty. It reminds me of my first car, which was a 91 Cadillac. So, I mean, high praise that I'm talking Cadillac ride.
Yeah.
But floaty.
Floaty.
Like a boaty.
I don't understand.
Floaty like a boaty.
I don't understand floaty.
Well, you just kind of ride over stuff. And if you take
like a good thing, but
if you
I'm
take a
picking up
corner
it's a
hard,
bad thing.
if you take a corner hard, it kind of rolls into the corner. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about there. And the steering, if you kind of jiggle the steering wheel back and forth, not a whole lot happens. Which, to be fair, I was in a sporty crossover right before this in a 2024 Alfa Romeo, which had very tight steering. So not a fair comparison, I know, but what I walked into or out of into this. What do you think? The big story here is on power on this. How does it feel driving around town?
Well, in bigger cars, you kind of expect to have a slow get up and go, but I really haven't felt that in this at all.
Big naturally aspirated V8, so there's no turbo lag. The transmission seems to know what you want to do when you tell it to. So we've had discussion about previous vehicles kind of taking a while to get going and realize what you want as a driver. 400 horsepower, I believe, in this one. Yeah. Pretty much all those ponies are ready to go right when you tell it to.
Yeah.
How's the ride been for you outside of brick streets?
I think it's been smooth the whole way.
Yep.
Really nice.
Yep.
Really nice drive, really nice. I wish the steering wheel felt a little more luxury. A little thicker. It's kind of thin and very firm.
And the leather wrapping on it isn't even as nice as the leather that we're sitting on. So it just feels a little subpar in that regards. And there are quite a few buttons on it. I will say one of the telltale signs of how well a vehicle is thought out is how easily you can just jump in a very odd situation and get in and go. Again, I hopped in at an airport parking garage and drove back and had to learn in the dark on the fly, and for the most part was able to do so, but there are tons of buttons there on the steering wheel for that 7-inch color information screen behind the steering wheel, which isn't my favorite. We covered it in the Pathfinder, we've covered it in the Z. Nissan's tech is a little old and outdated, and I mean, just partner with Google like General Motors did and let Google handle all of that, because that would be beneficial.
But you know what I do like about the dashboard?
Analog gauges.
Analog gauges.
Yeah. And then what I like is we've got this large screen here with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that is insanely clear and bright and easy to read. But what's interesting is it's like tilted back a little. It's weird. So it kind of makes it even further away, but very interesting. And then you can customize what's over here, but you can't like swipe. Again, like Google built in on General Motors products, they have this similar setup of this dual screen, and you can like swipe between different things. You have to dig through menus here in this one. I know.
Fingerprints all
I know.
over stuff.
So anyway, I had a 5-day weather forecast, which, I mean, that's cool information, but I don't need to look at it continuously. So I don't know. I just wish I could fill the whole thing with CarPlay.
The video cameras work very nicely. The
Yep.
backup cams. Is it a 360 cam?
360 cameras, they are a little on the grainy side. And while we're talking about cameras, you also have a camera for your rearview mirror that I will say works well in the day, but at night kind of gives a vibe of being Vaseline covered.
Ew. Well, maybe you need to clean off the camera back there.
No, it's just not the best nighttime camera, but you can flick that and then it turns into a regular frameless rear view mirror. Makes that very easy. Anything else catch your eye, catch your fancy you want to talk about in this one?
Gas mileage in this beast.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and pull out the window sticker and bring up what the EPA has tested. 13 city, 18 highway, 15 combined. Let's see, I have 113.9 miles on it. What do we got on the old economy?
18.1.
So, yeah, right in line, just a smidge above what the EPA is suggesting, or what they found in their testing. So, I mean, we have a 5.6 liter V8 under the hood. She is thirsty, and I don't know if you've noticed, but it is not turned off on you in traffic.
No.
So, yeah, very nice little touch there.
Yes.
Old school touch. All right, we've talked ride, we've talked storage, design. Anything else catch your eye
Nope.
before we talk?
I do. Well, this would depend on the cost.
Okay.
But I do wish it had a head-up display. That would be nice.
Head-up display would be nice, and a more modern panoramic glass roof versus
Prison window.
the old school, shall we say, standard size sunroof. Yeah, that's a little disappointing, but there's some things I really like in here for a family vehicle. Roof-mounted vents are like,
Yeah, it's very comfortable too.
Yeah. So, care to guess?
72.
You
Way too
cheated.
much.
You cheated.
No, I didn't. I swear.
You cheated.
How did I cheat? You.
72,925.
I'm getting so good at this.
So there you go. You need to go on Price is Right.
Yes,
Go
I
see
need to
Drew
go
Carey.
on Price is Right. I need to have a show at the state fair.
Yeah.
Like, let me guess the price of your car.
Yeah. So at that price, obviously we're missing a head-up display, but could this fit us?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a little bit bigger of a car than I would want to drive.
Yeah.
But it is definitely, if you want a big vehicle, this is definitely a nice family vehicle.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, it's a little on the higher price side, but you also have like the heated seats and the cooling seats,
And we do have the platinum trim. You can get this vehicle starting at $50,000, which does undercut Chevy Tahoe, which I've tested a base model one of those at $60,000. So when you're talking the competition for this, there is a wide range for this one.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah.
But
it drives nice. It's, if you're looking for a big vehicle, this is a nice one.
And then I have to bring it up. We had the Sequoia that is the direct Japanese competitor to this one. It has a twin turbo V6. We had the massive trailering mirrors that we didn't like on ours. We wouldn't option that one. But the visibility out of this one is so much better than out of the Sequoia because, again, you're sitting up high. The windows are down low. I can see all around the hood up front. It's a good visibility. Would recommend. Especially if you like more simple technology, less than fuss with this one. If you want to see more from Holly, some behind the scenes stuff, some real life living with this vehicle, go find her on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. You can find all things GT Garage Talk at GT Garage Talk, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, TikTok, YouTube, everything, again, at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. We have launched a second channel where we do also review this in full cinematic quality. And I'm with my buddy Eric on this one. He pilots me around as the ship captain in that one. I'll ride in the back, but we'll have a little more spirited fun in this one, I'm sure. So go check that out. It's GT Premium Reviews exclusively on YouTube. I'll put it down in the description. But as for us in the 2023 Nissan Armada, until next time, gearheads. Bye.
Sure does.
Is everybody ready?
I'm ready. I'm not ready. Okay, I'm ready.
Look at you using the
Look at me. I didn't even turn
Cameras.
my head backwards.
not even
once.
once.
I just did.